students. It's especially great if you're budget conscious. You don't cook all the time. Just to make sure that you have a variety of foods on your plate. Just as good.
All right. Well, I feel good. Well, no cans here, y'all. We got some fresh food. Thank you so much for bringing fresh food for me. I'm hungry. Can you tell us what we have and what we're doing?
Okay. So the way that I would recommend if you want to do this at home, start out with your favorite Greek yogurt. I like Greek yogurt. I like the protein in it, but I also like the little bite that it offers. Now, if you want to put a little twist on it, when I do this at home, I like to use the coconut flavor. And then you want to take your favorite cocoa powder. Now, believe it or not, cocoa powder is something I would want to spend a little bit money on, just because sometimes if you get it too cheap, it can be a little bit bitter. And so a lot of people don't like the taste. So just make sure you get a good quality of cocoa powder. We pour it all in here, mix it up, and then you add it into your bowl. And then the fun part is whatever toppings you want to use. So for the both of y'all today, we have chocolate chips, we have strawberries, we have coconut, and we also have pecans.
Okay.
And so while you are watching this, I want you guys to be thinking about what are other toppings that I could add in to the same recipe I've got, but I can make it something different.
Okay, I got a couple questions. So first off, I did hear what you just said. You said if you buy cheap cocoa powder, it tastes bitter.
It does taste better.
I did not know why my cocoa powder tastes so bad. Now I know.
I'm a big believer that some things, get it cheap, doesn't matter, you're just paying for marketing.
I had no idea.
Sometimes the quality of the ingredient is really going to be a make or break for your dish.
All right, so Greek yogurt, I'm allergic to milk, but I like to use goat yogurt a lot. So I guess I could use the same recipe.
Yes.
Do you have veterans, or do you have people that are allergic to milk? What do you have as like substitutes? What do you suggest them to do? And what do you think about Greek yogurt as a protein?
So a lot of individuals, if they're lactose intolerant, they actually can tolerate Greek yogurt because it's a different type of protein. A lot of the lactose has already been broken down. So I do encourage Greek yogurt because it's high in protein. It's also high in calcium, because a lot of individuals don't get enough calcium in their diet. Okay, but if they don't want to do that, they also have an option to do other yogurts that are alternative, like with cashew, or like what you said, with goat as well.
I love it. When you mentioned non-cheap cocoa powder, so you got non-cheap cocoa powder and Greek yogurt.
Yes.
And what we're gonna do here? I'm ready to get started.
Yeah, let's mix some up.
So I'm going to scoot back. I'll trade spots with you.
Okay.
You have got the bowl ready. So like I said, when you're adding the cocoa powder to your yogurt, this is easy as take your container, so whatever meal prep container you're going to use, add a little bit of yogurt in there. Oops. I did add a little bit of honey because I like a little honey in there.
Okay.
You could also add a little bit of cinnamon, maybe like a little nutmeg if you want that warm flavor, especially with it being fall. And now you get to decide what toppings you want.
Seriously, I do love a good parfait in the morning. I definitely love chocolate chips. I think I can get away with anything for the kids with chocolate chips. Okay, sir. That's quite a bit. So what are you thinking back there? We got a whole dietitian here telling us if we good or bad. If I've been bad or good, dietitian, tell me. Dietitian Santa Pat, how we doing over here?
We're doing good. We're doing good. It's always great to actually go for the chocolate chips with like, let's say 60-70% cocoa, because those naturally will have lower amounts of sugar, of added sugar. So you'll have more of the nutritional benefits from that.
Very, okay, so 60 to 70%. But usually those taste bitter to me too.
Please pass the walnut.
You can actually mask it with a little bit of honey.
Oh. Did y'all just catch that? So I told her when I try to be healthy, whenever I am healthy, because I'm healthy, let me fix that sentence. Because I'm healthy, I try so hard to buy the 80% cacao. I try so hard to use that, but it's so bitter that I don't want to use that in my cookies or different things. But you're saying I can mask it with some honey.
Yeah.
To make it taste good.
Let me see some of that honey.
I also tell my students in class, like, if you are just not there and your palate isn't there, be kind to yourself and just build up to it gradually.
Thank you, honey.
And meet yourself where you are.
Because there's actually the ones that are even 60 or 70% cacao, not quite as 80, but you can actually go a little bit lower and it still will have a higher nutritional value
Yes.
than the standard
agree.
ones.
This is so good.
And so this could work for breakfast, but we all know that we love watching our TV at the end of the day, and we all want to get our chocolate fix. So maybe instead of going for ice cream, we can still have some yogurt, but think about how could I make this movie night special edition? And it's the same thing, get a healthy snack along the way.
I want to ask about that because Vontoba and I, you all see us at Urban Hydration, you see us with Alpha Kappa Alpha and with Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity, but I'll tell you where you don't see us, and that's in the living room at night around 10 o'clock in front of the TV with a bowl of cereal.
Yes, that's
What do you think? We're going to find out if this is bad or good, if we've been bad or good, for goodness sakes.
Tell us the truth.
All right,
Make
dietitian
it plain.
Santa Pat, who all eats cereal at night? It's a thing. Listen, they need to put PM cereal. They can sell a whole new brand. They call it a cereal for the nighttime.
Business idea.
Business idea. Okay, what do you think? Have we been bad or good if we're eating this or business or not business or cereal at night? All right.
So you know what? When it comes to cereal, I'll let you in a little secret. Sometimes I have cereal at night for dinner. So, so what I do, honestly, if I have it with milk or if I switch out the milk and I have it instead with Greek yogurt. So sometimes, like as a treat, I will have some of those sugary cereals because it reminds me of my childhood. So, but you can kind of switch it out and make it a little bit healthy by adding it with some Greek yogurt too.
So it's okay to have a little fun, huh?
It's okay to have a little bit of fun because quite honestly, if you are too strict with yourself and restrict yourself from having too many of the things that you enjoy, you're just not going to stick with it.
Now, speaking of fun, Chef D told me that her food is so good it makes people do a happy dance. So
Yes.
what's your happy dance, Chef D?
Okay, so I want y'all to envision it with me. Someone put that plate right in front of you. It's steaming a little bit. All your senses are enticed. And you're like, and you just kind of just like shoulder shimmy a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you kind of like salivate.
Oh, that's some good food.
You guys are telling me you haven't been
you
eating
be
like
quiet
that.
back there.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. When you have a good plate of food, that's exactly how I,
I have
feel.
never seen a shimmy shake over my food ever.
I'm going to hand
Then
out
you got to
some
come to
samples.
class.
He gone.
We're going to hand out some samples
He
and
is
see if
gone.
it makes you do a happy dance.
Yeah, I
Who
want to see your
wants
happy
some?
dance after I make
Who
dinner
wants some?
tonight, Vontoba. You need to do the shimmy shake.
There we go.
Yes.
Cooking and eating well should not feel like a chore. You should feel
Right.
excited to do
No,
it. It should
okay.
feel very fun.
So, dietitian Pat.
Now, I am an alpha, so not too much shimmying. My shoulder doesn't shimmy, so.
But you can watch.
Yes, indeed.
Like this,
So, Chef Pat, what are some meals or what are some ingredients or meals that make you shimmy shake and do a happy dance?
I like to cook things very simply and easily and tend to do things in portions. So usually at the beginning of the week, I'll grab like my favorite leafy green, maybe like a kale or spinach or something. I'll throw in some grains in it, whether it be some rice or some quinoa or some beans. Make sure add in some more protein. So besides the beans, maybe some of my favorite meat or fish. And then also just kind of throw in some of my nuts. So I do like to mix and match a lot of different things, just based on my mood and things that usually kind of keep well, make large portions. So they're great for family. And then also they tend to be very economical.
Very good. Okay. I would love to hear what are some meals or ideas that you can tell us to do to make us do a shimmy shake. I mean, I want Von's shimmy shaking.
Let's see. I am a big fan of cooking with my feelings. So I literally start off every week and I'm like, how do I feel? So this particular week, I was obsessed with some pork and beans, but I wanted to make it from scratch. So I got my pinto beans in my Instapot. I added some red chili sauce, sauteed my pork, my peppers, my garlic and onion before I set it. And then I made some cornbread from scratch with some jalapeno and I added some canned corn in there. So straightforward, but very filling, and cabbage. Gotta have your cooked cabbage. So very forward, it's hearty, it's warm. We're now in Texas fall. So I try not to overthink my meals.
Okay. I have nicknamed you Santa, dietitian, DA dietitian. What are you thinking? Because in my head, I'm thinking beans, pork, cabbage. Okay, cabbage. But are these things okay? How can I eat these things and still feel like I'm not, being on the bad list for Santa?
No, but you're not on a bad list because you're first of all, you're having foods that you enjoy. They're all healthy foods. The cabbage is going to offer a very good amount of fiber in there as well, which is helps you feel full. Also great for folks if their goal is for weight loss. Okay. Helps you also for individuals who have issues with hypertension or high blood pressure and also diabetes. Fiber plays an active role in that as well. You have your protein, which is very good in, the adequate protein source, but also B vitamins. Okay, you have your beans that offer an array of vitamins in addition to fiber and for protein. So it's a lot of mix and match. And if you throw greens in there, you'll also get some vitamin K in there as well, and added fiber. And what's great too is you spoke earlier about cooking with your, according to your mood and your feelings. I'm very much the same way. And I also like to cook seasonally. So use this as an opportunity to go out there and see what's in season. Tends to taste better, tends to be more readily available at an efficient price. And also when things are in season, it offers a higher level of vitamins and minerals. You're really picking it at its peak. So just kind of eat the rainbow is what I tell individuals. Add some color, add some spices, add your salt last. So just kind of mix and match. Do what makes you feel well. The more you can start simple and just build on that. And it'll be a lot easier on your wallet too.
Nice. So you're helping me save money and eat healthy.
There you go.
So I can do both?
You can do both. And you could be sustainable by being good for the economy as well.
Okay, so once in a while, I might not be able to get something fresh, and it's in a package. How should I be reading the labels to make sure what I'm getting is best for my body?
So if it's not available in the fresh section, say it's not in season, go to your frozen section. You can go into your, also in the canned aisles. If you find it canned, you want to look for the ones that have no salt added. Just kind of keep it plain and simple because you can add your seasonings. Because honestly, once your salt is already in there, there's no taking it away. A lot of hypertension is like they call it the silent killer. A lot of people walking around having elevated blood pressure, not knowing about it. So just you take that, own it, take that power, keep it for yourself, season it to your liking. You really don't need a lot.
I would like to add on to that. I tell this to people in class that the frozen section is not a bad place and you can doctor up meals. So if you're afraid to cook chicken for whatever reason, maybe buy the chicken and add in your favorite vegetables or add in something, but meet yourself where you are, but work it in. You don't have to do everything from scratch sometimes if that's not how well you cook.
Right.
I personally feel so empowered having you two here, and I'm getting real serious with you. I feel like the internet for the past, I'd say 7 years at least, has been kind of like making me feel like a bad guy for the way I was raised to eat, no more this, no more dressing, no more mac and cheese, no more, you can't do that, you gotta be vegan, you gotta be healthy. But what you two are doing, are sharing, eat what you eat. You're still getting protein, you're still focusing on, reducing hypertension. Eat with your feelings or prepare with your, I heard that, prepare with your feelings, don't eat with your feelings, because that's two totally different things, right? Yes. Tell me about that.
So when I say eat with my feelings, I think if you want something sweet, people are like, oh, I shouldn't eat cake. I was like, eat the cake. Make that cake from scratch.
Eat the cake, anime.
Let this be a therapeutic moment. Play your favorite music. Engage making the frosting. Get creative by decorating. I'm really big in attaching mental health to cooking because it's very calming. It's a big sensory table. All the smells that you guys were taking in. So in class, I try to incorporate those two together so that you eat more mindfully. No one makes a cake from scratch and devours it. You almost don't want anyone to touch it because you worked so hard on it.
Yeah.
You can look at it, but that's
You can look at it. I made that cake. You gonna look at that cake.
And our dietitian is saying, and cake is okay. Is that what I'm hearing?
Oh, you can ask my boyfriend over here. I'm the cake maker at home. So not too long, I tried a Swedish recipe and it had a lot of butter. But it's like, I don't make it every week. When I feel like making it, you have the cake, and then you enjoy it, you move on. Maybe you make it again in a few months. So everything is in moderation, because again, if you tell yourself, I'm not going to have this, I can't have that, never, you're really setting yourself up misery, and you won't stick with it in the end.
Funny story, we've got some queens here, and I am a beauty queen. I'm Mrs. USA Ambassador. And I can tell you that this is as a national queen, I tried so hard to be a national queen years ago, but my entire year I wouldn't eat. And one of my directors said, well, that is where you messed up. You didn't give yourself room to live and room to grow and enjoy yourself. So when you got on stage to present yourself, that wasn't really who you are. You were rigidly in a box of showing who you think other people want you to be. So when I mean, this year, right?
Yes.
I've enjoyed myself.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, cookie cake. What else, baby?
Oh yeah. Pie.
Why you gonna do that? Why you gonna tell them that, baby?
Don't listen, Jimmy.
Pie, cookie cake. We've had wings every Wednesday. We have Wing Wednesday.
Tacos.
Tell me how to prepare some wings.
Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday. We do that every Tuesday. I want to hear some ideas for this Wings Wednesday. Any ideas for my Wing Wednesdays?
So what I'm gonna say, if you're doing your wings, I want people to start making their own marinades, and I want y'all to lean into your aromatics. So your green onion, your fresh ginger, chop up some peppers. Just lean into the spices. I really like that she says you salt last, because I stress that so much in my class. If your food needs salt, it's gonna come out like word vomit, salt. But if you're hawing, I think it's missing something, you're missing spices. Spices aren't gonna add calories. They're not gonna mess with your blood pressure. So there's no reason you should be eating bland tasting food. It should always leave very flavorful.
Good to know. Make it spicy.
And quite honestly, you have in your grocer's aisle, there's like some salt-free seasonings. The two most popular ones are Mrs. Dash and McCormick. So they have different ones, Italians, different types of blends that you could just pick if you need some place to start and you're not sure about picking out individual spices. But that's a good way to start.
Good to know. Chef D, Patricia, I have a quick question for each of you before we go to our audience for questions. What is your go-to meal when you're on the go?
That's good.
Are we talking salt or savory? Pick one.
Salt.
Savory or sweet? Okay, savory.
Word vomit.
Savory.
Okay, savory. Okay.
I think for me, I generally do my own little snack bag. So I'll do like some nuts. If I feel it, you know what? Sometimes I'm like, I really want those chips, but I'll compromise because I have no control when it comes to chips. It's always been my thing. So I'll throw in a couple in a bag. I'll throw in some nuts. I'll throw in some dried fruit and some seeds as well. And that's also, you have a lot of the heart-healthy fats in there. Keeps you full. It's full of micronutrients as well.
Micronutrients. And yourself.
I'm gonna say if I'm on the go, I like fruit or I am crunchy things. So anything that's gonna be noisy, I do love crunchy chips or carrots, but I'm not too much of a snacker in that I enjoy pausing for my meals. I think from having my own business, I've made it a point to be intentional that I'm like, I stop what I'm doing to eat. I really do try to stop to eat.
I think that's so good. And I'm going to come up with a trend, and this needs to go straight to TikTok. So if you want to pull out your phones right now and put me on TikTok, I think that if you like the sound of the kiss, mwah, you probably also like a crunchy meal. I think that is my new thought, is if you like to hear the kiss, mwah, right? Instead of just, if you're the person that kisses like this, you know who you are.
If you have to turn the TV up when you're eating, that's who you are.
I do like crunchy food, and I do like to hear my kisses. And that's from grandma, because she go, mwah, come and give me a kiss, girl. So yes, I love an apple. And I can't believe how much I enjoy apples as snacks, but I think it's because I can hear myself eating them, and they let me know that I'm doing something. Yes. Oh, yeah. But soup, I'm also the person on the soup level too, so yes.
You love soup. I can eat soup any day.
Soup is so good.
Every single day.
It is good.
Well, do we have some questions from the audience, Vontoba?
Audience members.
Faith, you have a question? I am afraid. Go ahead, what's your question?
What if you try to cook something but you didn't know what you're putting in and you something inside of it that you're allergic to?
Oh, this sounds personal.
She's asking a question about if you cook something and you don't know what you put in it, but you might be allergic to it. So I guess let me reframe that. What should you do if you're eating something someone prepared and you don't know if you're allergic to what's in it.
So one of the things is,
Yes, you were concerned. She was concerned.
if you know what your allergy and what you're allergic to, is that you just want to make sure that you alert the person who's preparing the food ahead of time that you have this allergy. Okay?
Great question.
Great question.
Anyone
Start
else?
with a little bit. You would be surprised how many people take cooking classes and like in the middle of the class they'll be like, oh yeah, I'm actually allergic to so and so. And I'm like, why didn't you say anything? Because they don't want to be an inconvenience. You inconvenience people if you think it's going to cause you to swell up. Like, it's okay to say that you can't have something. You are not being fussy.
Well, I just tried a little bit of that Greek yogurt because you said sometimes you can have Greek yogurt even if you're allergic or lactose intolerant. And it was good. I always see it in the aisle. I've never tried it, but this is, I mean, it's right here. It was kind of like, try me. You never know, you might buy me. Any other questions from the audience?
Any other questions about healthy eating and nutrition?
All right.
I do have a comment about the lactose. One more thing.
Please.
For folks, I deal with this a lot, provide this education a lot with my veterans when they come to see me in clinic. But when they come in and say, well, yeah, I'm lactose intolerant, I tell them to give it a try, like A2 milk. You probably start to see that a lot in the supermarkets, but it's a different type of protein. I have the same issues with lactose, but then when I try this milk, I can have my cereals again just fine. So that's an option I offer them to just give it a shot, try it in small amounts, and see how they feel. But a lot of folks have so far come back and said that, you know, they're totally fine. But you can find it in your supermarket. I think Walmart start to have it now. Brahms definitely has it.
Wow.
So
Good to know.
And let me be really clear. So you are a dietitian for veterans. Does that mean you're a veteran?
I am not a veteran, though.
Okay.
Yeah. I like working with, in my history, I've always worked with the underserved population.
Love it. Love it. Thank
That's
you.
great.
Thank you so much. Well, I also appreciate you, Chef D, for helping my underserved stomach because I was very hungry today and you hooked me up. This was so good. Thank you both so very much for coming out and sharing tips on healthy eating, even on the go, and even if you're allergic or even if you want to cook with your feelings and do a happy dance. Yes. Well, you guys, thank you so much for joining our episode on The Good Life Show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.